if we have any hopes of still lifting this Premier League title, then we must beat Man City tomorrow afternoon. It really is that simple. Man City on some unbelievable form right now. Since that 2-0 loss to Crystal Palace, they have been on an unbeaten run, which has included wins over Man United, Paris Saint-Germain, Leicester City, plus many other big teams. For me though, our game against them earlier this season was one of the most uncharacteristic performances I've ever seen from a Tuchel team, and I'm not expecting that same type of negative, passive approach for the game tomorrow afternoon, because if we do that, then we're out the game, you guys, and we might as well kiss the league title goodbye. When we beat Man City last season, no one gave us any chance at all, and we beat them in 3 different competitions. So tomorrow, we need to have that same energy, that same intensity, aggressiveness, and we can't have any fear factor. For me, I definitely feel like the mentality of our team, we can go up against any team in the world. I think it's proven from how we performed in the Champions League last season, and we can't let Man City out-intensity us like they did in the first game. In the first game this season, our wing-backs could not get into the game. Man City focused their attacks down the left-hand side, pinning our wing-backs back as we couldn't get out, and by doing that, it meant that our midfield could not get on the ball, which meant that our strikers became absolutely isolated anytime we had to build any attacks. Questions will arise though: should Lukaku start in the game tomorrow? Should Timo Werner find himself back in the team alongside your Havertz's and your Mason Mounts? And with terrible news surrounding a defender being out for tomorrow, are we going to see a new formation used against Man City? In today's preview, guys, I'm going to break down Tuchel's press conference. This was jam-packed with information. I'm going to break down the latest transfer news as well. I'll go through the predicted lineup, and I'll give you guys my prediction right at the end as well. Hope you guys enjoy. 2 quick plugs to get out of the way first. First one is I have a new series talking about 5 things Tuchel can do to get us to win tomorrow. And for the final plug, today's video is brought to you by SPITCH, the ultimate new fantasy manager app, new on the market, which allows you to build and create your own teams ranging from leagues from the Bundesliga to the Premier League, with many more to come as well too. This is an opportunity for you guys to test your football skills, your football understanding, battle it out against your friends or in communities or in lobbies as well too, to collect points. And by collecting points, you have the opportunity, you guys, to win a share of up to 70,000 every week. On screen right now, you guys can see the lineup I'm going with for this weekend. As you can see here, I've got from Broja up front, Cornet, Rafinha, Rice, Mount, De Bruyne, Elise, Cucurella, Gay, Alonso, and Edison as well too. Now, if you wanted to change the formation, it's very simple to do so, but of course, you guys know I've got to stick with the 3-4-3. And what makes this even more interesting is that it really gives you like a deep and detailed understanding of, you know, how the players are performing in the league. Let's say, for example, we want to look at Marc Gueye in more detail. As you guys can see on the screen here, you can see how he scores for points, how he scores for defending, and points lost for discipline as well too. As you guys can see on the screen, I've got 22.5 mil to play with. Next week, I'll probably make another transfer to add to this team just to build the points up even more, you guys. But honestly, if you want to try out for yourselves, it's absolutely free. You'll find a link below in the description. Of course, you have to be 18 plus to participate. But you guys, of course, let me know in the comment section how you're finding SPITCH. Now we get into the press conference and we start with the bad news. And that's that Christensen has picked up COVID. He is the latest player to have suffered with the virus, and he'll be out for the game tomorrow. Now, it's been very unfortunate for him. Throughout this season, he has had contractual disputes. He has had many small injuries coming up time and time again. And it's unfortunate timing because we can't forget that defensive masterclass that Christensen put in when it came to that Champions League final. So we move on and let's discuss some transfer news. Now, in the case of Loftus-Cheek, you guys, I released a video yesterday detailing Juventus' plans to sign Loftus-Cheek on loan this window, with Arsenal being close to signing Arthur Melo from them. Before that can happen, Juventus must get their replacement first. If you guys want to hear more information, click on the card above. However, Tuchel did allude to the fact that Ruben is playing more games than last year, and he has a lot to fight for. I do know that Tuchel is a fan of Ruben. He has been used quite a bit this season as well too. However, you know, playing devil's advocate, could this be the same energy in which Tuchel used for Billy Gilmour last season, where he had a loan spell ready for him, Tuchel told him to stay, and in the end, did it really help his chances of getting first team football? Absolutely not. So from this press conference, maybe Ruben now is in a crossroads where he's entertained by the offer from Juventus, and who knows if he decides to stay or go. Talks then turned towards our recent recallee, and that was Kennedy from Flamenco. Tuchel gave some very positive and surprised words, in my opinion, by stating that it's a big opportunity for Kennedy now to make his mark in the team. We will try to support him. However, reports in Brazil were suggesting that Kennedy was very surprised by the, late recall from Flamengo. This happened so randomly and suddenly, and he was a bit frustrated because he felt like he was just ready to fight for his first team spot at Flamengo, as he suffered with really poor fitness throughout the season. And let's see what happens now he's returned back to the club. We do have some more news surrounding our hunt for a wing-back in this window. Bad news is Lyon won't let Emerson leave. Emerson will be staying at Lyon. But positive news is Barcelona are now open to Serginho Dest leaving on loan. With their current financial situation, the fact they need to register players, you guys, and reduce that wage bill as well. The more money they reduce in the wage bill, the more money they can earn when it comes to spending in the summer. That's what's working right now. So don't be surprised if we sign Serginho Dest in this window, you guys. Right now, and I can't confirm anything 100%, but recently I have been getting some messages confirming some positive news surrounding us signing him in this window. When I have more information, of course, I'll release a video on this maybe tomorrow or Sunday. But to move on, as Tuchel admitted, the approach made us too defensive and passive. It was not supposed to work like this, however, though, but it is a lesson learned. And with Tuchel, you guys, he does not make the same mistake twice. Managers aren't perfect, managers can be infallible. Look at someone like Pep Guardiola, for example. In one of the biggest games in City's history, he messed up the tactics against us in the Champions League final by playing no striker, which worked perfectly in our hands. So it does happen, you guys. And to end with things, Tuchel was asked whether the title race is over, and he gave a very valid reasoning behind why the team will keep on continuing to fight for the title. However, accepting the fact too that we've had injuries, we've had many bouts of COVID within the squad as well, and Man City have not had that during the same periods. Of course, when we started the season, there was self-confidence believed to close the gap on Man City. And even though Tuchel is happy with the players he has ready for him for tomorrow, the reality is, if we had a full-strength team, we have extra advantages that we can use against Man City. Of course, your Jameses, your Ben Chilwells, Edouard Mendy, you can go on. So let's see how we approach this game tomorrow. So now, you guys, let's discuss our predicted lineups in the game tomorrow. And for me, I only see this going two ways. I either see a 3-4-2-1, or I either see our new system, this asymmetrical 4-4-2. I'm going to start with the first lineup first. I think realistically, 3-4-2-1. You guys want to get my full thoughts and opinions, check out my new series I've just released. I feel a bit proud of it. Put some real work in, you guys. I'm about giving you guys quality. That's what I'm about. So with this lineup, you guys, up front, I've gone for Romelu Lukaku. Alongside him, I've gone for Mason Mount, and I've gone for Kai Havertz in midfield. N'Golo Kante and Jorginho. Wingbacks, Azpilicueta, Alonso. And in defence, I've gone for Sarr, Rudiger, Silva, and of course, Kepa in goal. Now, the fact that Christensen is out for the game tomorrow is such disappointing news, because otherwise he's playing on the right-hand side of a back three. If Sarr plays, this will be one of the biggest games he's ever played, in my opinion. He's given us some confidence at least. However, maybe there's one aspect in this game currently in which maybe the positioning can be a bit off, and sometimes when it comes to winning that 50-50, he doesn't always win that ball with that same assertiveness compared to other defenders. I'm not discrediting his game, he's put in some real effort, and I really commend how he's been playing for us. However, against a team like Man City, if you're out of position, if you're caught too high up, and if you can't get back into position, if you're infield, outfield, etc., they will attack the spaces you create. So Rudiger, Silva, they need to be communicating like crazy, and let's hope that Sarr's form continues in the game tomorrow. In midfield, it has to be the Champions League midfield with Jorginho and Kante, again based on the fact that we can't allow the midfield central positions to be left open, otherwise City will exploit that. And for wing backs, I've gone for Alonso and Azpilicueta. I felt more confident using them in the sense that, okay, I know that when it comes to like counter pressing, especially Azpilicueta, he is good at closing this man down and getting very tight. And against City, I feel like we have to stop their wingers. We have to get close and tight, and preventing them from getting in behind will be key. Of course, up front, I've gone for Lukaku, Havertz, and Mason Mount. I feel like Lukaku, we can't ride the scarf just yet. He's had some difficulties with injuries, with COVID, and of course getting used to a new style of play too. This thing in football where we just consistently dismiss players way too quickly, you guys, I don't agree with that. I feel like Lukaku can play that Timo Werner role, and I think if he has some very good support alongside him that can play off of him, For me, Kai Havertz being absolutely key. We saw some glimpses of what Kai and Lukaku can do against Tottenham in that first half. How many times have they played together like this throughout the season? I think tomorrow is an amazing opportunity for these guys to show that link-up play, and hopefully, with Lukaku be one of the best link-up guys in Europe. Give him some service to feed off, and give him players to play around. And if we do that, we will see a completely different Romelu Lukaku. You guys, that's my first lineup. Moving on to the second one. This lineup, I've gone for an asymmetrical 4-4-2. Up front, Kai and Lukaku, alongside a Mount Ziyech. Midfield, I've gone for Kova and Kante. And in defence, Alonso, Rudiger, Silva, and Azpilicueta with Kepa in goal. Now, with this lineup, I look at the front two, and one detail that really sticks out to me is the fact that, playing with two left-footed forwards, is the balance actually going to be perfect? Ideally, when you play with two up front, one has to have a right foot, one has to have a left foot. That's a detail that seems to escape the Chelsea boards during the summertime. But again, as I saw these guys playing against Spurs in that first half, I was seeing some movements that was interesting me. I was seeing how Kai and Lukaku were playing off of each other. Let's hope that with more time and training, we see an even better performance from these two in tomorrow's game. Alongside them, it has to be Mason Mount and Ziyech. I think Ziyech playing in that role with his creativity, he'll be key to finding Lukaku. That right channel in the half space, we know the type of lofted through balls that Ziyech can possess, that Ziyech can play as well as that fantasy element that he provides in the team too. Mount playing with the opposite flank, being that playmaker, where he can also drop into midfield to make a midfield three at times, is going to be key. Because in attack, it will be 4-4-2, and when we defend as a team, it will turn into a 5-3-2, or even potentially a 5-4-1 with Kai Havertz dropping really deep, just as we did against Man City in the Champions League final. Now, I've gone for cover with Kante in this game, and I feel it's a bit of a risk too, because the same reasoning I gave for Sarr is the same reasoning I'm using for cover. Against Spurs in that second leg, there was a few times where this guy was not getting back into the midfield lines properly, which forced Malang Sarr to have to step out to cover those zones, but just disrupted our entire defensive line. And against City and with Tuchel in general, that core is kept tight. They don't move, they stay there, and it gives us this incredible defensive platform to build from. With Cover though, he's absolutely informed this season. His press resistance is unreal. He's the type of guy that you pass to under pressure, and of course he has that same intensity and ability to cover ground better than a Jorginho. So let's hope that as long as Cover is tactically and defensively on point, big things can come from him. Of course, you guys in defence, Azpilicueta playing, more as like a right-sided centre-back. When he plays his full-back role, he doesn't step out too much. Of course, Ziyech has to really come back to help support that defence. But again, ideally that will give us a platform to use three at the back when we build up, which is going to be key and useful. But I'm going to plug it in, you guys. If you guys want to get more detailed understanding behind how our new formation does work, there'll be a video on the card above. Give it a watch, you guys. And right now, let's end things with the match prediction. Now, a part of me is feeling, okay, this is going to be like a 1-1 game, but I'm sorry, this is the type of game where we need to try and go there to win. I don't think Man City are going to be very comfortable playing for a draw either. And in games like this where it is open, there are vertical spaces where players run into. And, when we play more direct and counter-attack, I feel like we're a lot more dangerous when it comes to creating chances compared to actually like creating chances against teams that defend and sit back. The team have beaten Man City time and time again. That game earlier this season was a fake one. That doesn't personally count for me, and I'm sure the players want to come back there and show Man City what they're about and prove to them why they deserve to be European champions, you guys. So tomorrow I'm going for a 2-1 win. In the comments, give your score prediction and give your predicted lineups as well. And on that note, I'm EFC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys there with some more videos. Cool.